This is such a nerve-wracking video. Get comfortable. Why can't I get comfortable? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by if you're new, and welcome back if you're already a subscriber. I'm Crystal, and today I'm going to address something that I kind of dropped in a video recently. It was in my regretting coming off my no buy video. I addressed a eating disorder of mine. So I talked about how my eating disorder is directly connected to my makeup buying addiction and my spending habits. And look, I feel like a lot of people actually messaged me about that, and they commented on that video saying they had a very similar experience. So I just wanted to make a video discussing that today to allow people to know that they're not alone, that it's not just you who feels this way, that it is actually a whole community of people that feel the same way. And it could go both ways. It could be that you stop eating and that's connected to your makeup spending, or that you binge in an abundance and that's connected to your makeup spending. I go more towards the abundance of eating, and then that is when I get into makeup as well. So I just wanted to do a really informal video discussing this. I think it's actually a really serious topic that I haven't seen anyone on YouTube discuss yet, and I 100% know that there's a number of people that feel this way. So I just think that it's something that needs to be put out there. If this helps anyone in any way, I'm really glad. I don't know if anyone's ever going to watch it, but like, if somebody feels like they just need to hear that somebody else out there is feeling the same way as them, then that's all the purpose this video needs to have. So before we jump into the video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you like these commentary kind of videos that I'm now doing on my channel, which is a bit more opinion based in the beauty space. Also, don't forget to go and check me out on Instagram. My handle's on the screen for you guys to go and check me out over there. And without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. Okay, so I'll give you guys a bit of a backstory about me and my situation. So I discovered that food was a really good comfort place for me in, I think it was 2013. Yeah, 2013. So I enlisted in the Australian Army in 2013. I was only in there for a year. I gave it a shot. It just wasn't for me. I do not regret that choice whatsoever. It just wasn't for me. So I ended up discharging in December of 2013. Straight after I finished high school. I got a scholarship to the Defence College here in Australia, based in Canberra, and I met some really great people. I learned a lot about the world, I learned a lot about me, but I also learned what my limits were. And being separated from my family, being in an unknown space, being quite stressed, not from the job necessarily itself, but from the steep learning curve, I realized that I could just go down the street and no one was going to tell me that I could buy all of the junk food that I wanted. Anything that I wanted, chips, lollies, cakes, ice cream, the works. I could buy anything I wanted. I could take it back to my room and I could just eat it and no one would know. And I remember I went down the street, I'd had a particularly stressful week. I was missing home. I was questioning whether I wanted to be there or not, and I just went down the street and it hit me like, I can get this stuff if I want to, and I can just sit at home and I can watch a movie and I can just eat, and if I want to do that, then that's fine. And I remember I did it for the first time, and I remember eating to a point where I felt like I was gonna like split open, and it was actually the worst feeling. But at the same time, it stopped me from thinking about my stress. It actually moved my stress from here to my stomach, and it made me feel better. Like, I know that sounds really weird, but it made me feel better. And then I remember thinking, oh, I can do this if I want to. And not thinking about any of the repercussions, but I felt better. And then I remember the next day I went out shopping. Like, it was the weekend, so I went out shopping because we got paid that week. And I remember going down to Mecca. I'd never bought makeup before, and I bought my first couple of products, and I bought NARS Laguna. I vividly remember I bought NARS Laguna. I also went to the MAC counter, I bought Soft and Gentle, and I also purchased Brave from MAC as well. And then I think when I was at Mecca, I know that I purchased another item as well, but I can't remember what it was. But I'd spent something like $200 to $250, and I remember thinking, oh my god, that is so much money, like why? But in that moment, it felt really, really good, like to get something new, to live in an abundance. And then I remember going back to the supermarket, buying more food, and then going home. And then what I did was I ate my delicious food and I played with my new makeup, and it felt really, really good. So I started associating the two together, and then it became an automatic response to a stressful situation. So when I was at university, I ended up discharging, and then I ended up studying a Bachelor of Psychology at a university in Melbourne. And I remember I got into my second or third year, I can't remember which one it was, and I got really, really stressed, so I started doing it again. I started eating lots and lots of food. I stopped going to the gym. I started buying more makeup, buying like more and more and more makeup, and more food, living in this complete abundance, not thinking about any of the consequences financially, physically, to my long-term health, to my long-term mental space. And to think about it, it's just this hamster wheel of negativity, because you're affecting yourself, and so your body is going to get larger. Unless you have some freakish metabolism, your body's going to get larger, your clothes are going to start getting tighter, you're going to start feeling bad for the fact that you are not fitting into your clothes, or you're not good enough to fit into the previous version of yourself. You are spending all your money on makeup, so you've got a heap of makeup, and you can put that on, that can make you feel better for a little bit, but then you've spent a lot of money on stuff that you actually don't need. So then you start to hate yourself because you've eaten too much and you spent too much money, and all you've got is literally powder in a pan, like mud in a pan, or like cream in a stick form. Like that's all you've got to show for it. So then you start to beat yourself up for the fact that you did that as a response to your stress, which highlights your stress even more, which therefore means you're going to want to go and do it again. And it's just this hamster wheel that goes around and around and around. And I don't know about you guys, but I know that when I get into that kind of state of mind, it takes me ages to get out of it. So for me, I know that when I start to binge eat, I'm going to be binge buying makeup, which is completely unnecessary. And it just makes me feel horrible. And I think I will do a video on my channel about how I control my binge eating behavior, and how I got on top of it, and how my finances are in order, because I do think that is a really important topic, and I do think there are people out there that need to hear that. So if you have a very similar experience where if something like, I don't know, a pandemic happens and you are stressed because you might be losing your job, or you might not be able to pay your bills, and then you, as a coping mechanism, resort to an abundance of food or an abundance of makeup, or both, in like my case, usually it's both, and it's just affecting you more and more, maybe it's a really good time to really look within yourself and see why you're doing that. Like, why do you feel like you need to buy more makeup? Why do you feel like you need to eat all that food? Like, is it really making you feel better? Because if you feel good in the moment because it stops you from thinking about what you're stressed about, maybe it's time to pick up something like, I don't know, gardening or painting or pottery making or sewing, or something other than just sitting there and watching YouTube or watching Netflix, or something that's pretty immobile, something that allows you to start thinking about yourself. Like, create something. Even if you want to do like what everybody else seems to be doing and start a candle business, like, it's something to invest in yourself. And I do think that that's going to be better than just eating and eating and eating and spending your money on makeup, because at the end of the day, it's just makeup, and that shit expires. And once it expires, it's got no value to you, no value to your clients, no value to anyone. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to come on here and give you guys an insight as to the fact that I do experience this on and off. It happens like cyclical, yearly, or whatever you want to call it. It does happen quite regularly, and I mean, I'm still experiencing the effects of it from COVID right now. I tried my wedding dress on the other day, and I can get into it, but it's very tight, and that is a pure response to me not taking my diet seriously during COVID and not putting my health first and just eating in abundance and doing stuff with my makeup in abundance and buying and buying and buying. So I just want people to know that they're not alone. I want to open this discussion for people to either talk to each other in the comments, reach out to me if you want to have a discussion about this sort of thing, if you're feeling a bit lost, because I know that I did. I don't feel like I can talk to my partner about this. I don't feel like I can talk to my family about this because it's not something that they would understand. And I just think that this is something that needs to be very much more talked about on YouTube, on social media platforms, and we should really be starting a community of support of women and men who support each other going through this kind of stress, because it's not only affecting your purse, it's affecting your health. So it's very, very, very important to discuss. But that's pretty much everything from me. I hope you like this video. Do not forget to subscribe if you like this kind of commentary content that is currently on my channel, and also don't forget to go and check me out on Instagram. My handle's on the screen for you guys to go and check me out over there. And before we wrap up this video, just to let you know, I upload every Tuesday and Saturday Melbourne time at 6 AM. Make sure you have the post notification bell turned on, because you cannot rely on the algorithm. It's just like you can't find anything on YouTube these days. So basically that's it. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Thanks guys, bye.